Exploring the depths of Carl Jung's philosophy. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who founded the School of Analytical Psychology. His theories on the unconscious, archetypes, and individuation continue to shape contemporary psychology, philosophy, art, and spirituality. Jung's work has left an indelible mark on modern understanding of the human psyche, offering insights into personal growth, the integration of opposites, and the quest for meaning in a complex world. This video seeks to explore the profound depths of Carl Jung's philosophical ideas, not only from a psychological standpoint, but as a comprehensive worldview that intersects with culture, spirituality, and creativity. By the end of this video, we hope to understand not just who Carl Jung was, but why his work remains highly relevant today. In the next 2 hours, we will explore Jung's most foundational ideas, including the unconscious mind, archetypes, and the process of individuation, as well as delve into his philosophical influences and the impact his ideas have had on modern psychology and culture. We will also explore practical ways you can apply Jung's teachings to your own life to foster self-awareness and personal growth. The foundations of Jungian philosophy. Carl Jung's philosophy is rooted in a deep exploration of the human psyche and its complex structures. His work was a departure from the reductionist approaches of his predecessors, most notably Sigmund Freud, who focused on the deterministic aspects of the unconscious. Jung believed that the unconscious was not only a place of repressed desires and memories, but a dynamic creative force that shaped both our personal and collective experiences. To understand Jung's philosophy, we must first explore the foundational concepts of the unconscious mind and archetypes. The unconscious mind, personal versus collective. At the heart of Jung's philosophy is the idea that the human mind is not solely driven by conscious thoughts and rationality. Rather, there exists a deeper layer of the psyche, one that is largely hidden from our everyday awareness, the unconscious mind. Jung divides the unconscious into two components: personal unconscious. This level of the unconscious is akin to what Freud referred to as the repressed unconscious. It contains all the forgotten, ignored, or suppressed material unique to the individual. This includes past experiences, unresolved conflicts, and personal memories. While these elements are hidden from consciousness, they still influence behavior and emotional responses. Collective unconscious. Jung's most original and groundbreaking idea was the concept of the collective unconscious. Unlike the personal unconscious, which is unique to each individual, the collective unconscious is a shared reservoir of memories, experiences, and symbols that all human beings have in common. It is universal and inherited. The archetypes that populate the collective unconscious are deeply embedded in human culture, mythology, and religious traditions across time and space. Jung proposed that this collective layer of the unconscious was a source of wisdom and potential, a wellspring of universal images and symbols that humans across cultures could draw upon for meaning. These shared symbols are often revealed through myths, dreams, and collective experiences. Archetypes, universal symbols and patterns. One of Jung's most influential contributions to psychology and philosophy is his concept of archetypes. These are primordial images or universal patterns that reside in the collective unconscious. They are not learned, but rather innate structures that shape human experience and understanding. The most prominent archetypes that Jung identified include the self. The self represents the whole, integrated individual. It is the archetype of unity, the totality of the psyche, encompassing both conscious and unconscious elements. In Jungian terms, the self is the ultimate goal of the process of individuation, which is the journey towards self-realization and psychological wholeness. The shadow. The shadow represents the darker, hidden aspects of the self. It consists of traits and tendencies that are repressed or denied, often because they are considered undesirable or socially unacceptable. While the shadow is often feared or avoided, Jung emphasized that acknowledging and integrating the shadow is essential for personal growth. The shadow, when embraced, can lead to greater self-awareness and acceptance of one's entire being. The Anima, Animus. These archetypes represent the feminine side within men, Anima, and the masculine side within women, Animus. The anima and animus embody the opposite gender qualities that exist in every individual, and they play a crucial role in personal development. Integrating these archetypes helps individuals achieve psychological balance and harmony, moving beyond rigid gender stereotypes. The persona. The persona is the mask or social identity we present to the world. It represents the roles we play in society, the image we want to project to others. While the persona helps us navigate social interactions and achieve success, Jung warned that an over-identification with the persona can lead to a disconnection from the deeper, authentic self. These archetypes are not just theoretical concepts. They manifest in our dreams, behaviors, and relationships. For example, the shadow might appear in dreams as a dark figure or an antagonist, while the anima or animus might appear as an idealized lover or guide. The persona may manifest as a well-dressed figure in public or someone who adheres to societal expectations. The power of archetypes lies in their ability to shape both individual and collective human experience. By understanding and working with these archetypes, we gain access to deep insights about ourselves and the world around us. The process of individuation. At the core of Jung's philosophy is the process of individuation, which he described as the journey towards self-realization and psychological wholeness. Individuation is the process of integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche, including the shadow, the anima, animus, and the persona, into a harmonious whole. Individuation is not a simple or linear process. It requires deep introspection, self-examination, and a willingness to confront the darker and more uncomfortable parts of the self. However, the rewards of individuation are profound. It leads to a greater understanding of one's true nature, a sense of inner balance, and an enhanced ability to relate authentically to others. Jung saw individuation as a lifelong process. It is not something that happens overnight, but unfolds gradually, especially as individuals encounter life's major transitions. These might include midlife crises, major personal losses, or spiritual awakenings, all of which often catalyze a deeper dive into the unconscious and an opportunity for integration. The goal of individuation is not to become perfect or to eliminate all our flaws, but to become whole, to accept both the light and the dark aspects of ourselves. This wholeness is the expression of the self, the archetype that represents the integration of all aspects of the psyche. The role of symbols, myths, and dreams. Jung believed that the unconscious communicates with the conscious mind through symbols, which are often revealed in dreams. These symbols are not arbitrary, they are meaningful representations of deeper psychological truths. Jung's approach to dream analysis was grounded in the belief that dreams are not simply the mind's random firing of thoughts during sleep, but are windows into the unconscious. For Jung, understanding the symbols in our dreams and everyday life is an essential step in the process of individuation. Symbols can provide us with insight into our deepest fears, desires, and potential. They offer guidance by representing universal themes that resonate with the collective unconscious. Jung also viewed myths and cultural stories as expressions of the same archetypal forces that shape the human experience. The myths of gods and heroes, the stories of creation, destruction, and transformation, all of these serve as mirrors to our inner psychological states. The great stories of humanity are not just cultural artifacts, but are reflections of the inner journey of the psyche. Key concepts in Jungian philosophy. Carl Jung's philosophy is rich with intricate and profound concepts that go beyond the traditional boundaries of psychology. In this section, we explore some of his most significant ideas: the shadow, the anima, animus, the self, synchronicity, and the role of dreams and symbols. These concepts are central to understanding the depth of Jung's psychological and philosophical system. The shadow. One of the most compelling and transformative ideas in Jung's work is the concept of the shadow. The shadow represents the hidden, darker aspects of our personality that we typically reject, deny, or suppress. It is the part of ourselves that we are unwilling to acknowledge because it contradicts the image we have of ourselves, or what society deems acceptable. The shadow is not inherently negative. In fact, it holds the key to personal transformation. It encompasses everything that is repressed, including aspects of our personality, instincts, desires, and fears. These elements might be considered socially unacceptable, immoral, or shameful, but they are still part of our human nature. Jung argued that embracing the shadow is essential for achieving psychological wholeness. When we confront and integrate our shadow, we bring the unconscious aspects of ourselves into conscious awareness. This process of shadow work allows us to accept and balance our darker traits, leading to greater self-awareness and growth. For example, someone who is always self-righteous may have a shadow aspect of their personality that includes insecurity or a need for validation. By acknowledging and integrating this shadow aspect, they can become more authentic and empathetic, moving away from the need for external approval. The integration of the shadow is a key part of the process of individuation. Jung believed that we must face our shadow in order to transcend it and embrace the fuller expression of who we are. This process can be difficult and uncomfortable, but it ultimately leads to a more complete self-awareness. The Anima and Animus. The concepts of the Anima and Animus are deeply intertwined with Jung's ideas of the unconscious and its interplay with the conscious mind. The Anima represents the feminine aspects of the psyche within men, while the Animus represents the masculine aspects within women. These archetypes are critical to the balance of the psyche and the process of individuation. Anima. The anima is the unconscious feminine dimension in men, and it can manifest in many forms, such as the nurturing mother, the seductive lover, or the wise woman. The anima serves as a bridge between the unconscious and the conscious mind, guiding men towards self-knowledge and emotional depth. She is often experienced in dreams and fantasies, where she plays various roles that reflect the man's inner emotional life. Animus. The animus represents the masculine archetype in women, appearing as a powerful figure that embodies traits such as strength, assertiveness, and intellectual clarity. Like the anima, the animus serves as a guide for women in their journey toward wholeness. The animus often appears in dreams as a wise figure or as an idealized male presence, reflecting a woman's relationship with her inner strength and autonomy. Jung emphasized the importance of integrating these opposite gender aspects of the psyche. For both men and women, working with the anima and animus is a way to transcend gendered limitations and embrace the full spectrum of human experience. By integrating both the masculine and feminine aspects of the psyche, individuals can achieve greater psychological balance and a deeper understanding of themselves. The self. The self is the central archetype in Jungian psychology. It represents the totality of the psyche, encompassing both the conscious and unconscious dimensions of the individual. Unlike the ego, which is the conscious aspect of the personality, the self is the unification of all aspects of the individual, representing wholeness and integration. The self is the goal of the process of individuation. It is the archetype that symbolizes the realization of the individual as a complete, integrated being. To achieve this, an individual must confront and integrate various aspects of the psyche, including the shadow, the anima animus, and the persona. Jung described the self as a transcendent, dynamic process rather than a fixed entity. It is not simply a destination to be reached, but an ongoing process of integration and balance. The self is represented by symbols such as the mandala, a geometric figure representing wholeness and unity. Mandalas often appear in dreams and visions as symbols of the integration of the various parts of the psyche. The journey toward the self is not about perfection or idealization, but about accepting the contradictions and complexities inherent in human nature. By integrating both the light and dark aspects of the self, individuals can achieve greater peace and fulfillment in their lives. Synchronicity, the meaningful coincidence. One of Jung's most fascinating and controversial ideas was the concept of synchronicity. Synchronicity refers to the occurrence of meaningful coincidences that seem to have no causal connection, but are still deeply significant. These events are not random. Rather, they reflect an underlying order and interconnectedness in the universe. Jung first explored the idea of synchronicity in his collaboration with physicist Wolfgang Pauli. Pauli had experienced numerous instances of synchronicity in his life, and Jung hypothesized that these meaningful coincidences might represent a connection between the psychological and physical worlds. Synchronicity is not merely about coincidence or luck. It is about a deeper, archetypal connection between the individual and the universe. It is a reflection of the interconnectedness of all things, a recognition that there is more to reality than meets the eye. Synchronicity can manifest in everyday life as a series of events, symbols, or people that seem to align in a meaningful way, offering insight, guidance, or validation. For example, a person might think of an old friend whom they haven't spoken to in years, only to receive a phone call from them later that day. This kind of synchronicity can feel deeply meaningful, as if it offers a glimpse into the underlying order of the universe. Jung believed that such occurrences could serve as guidance for the individual, pointing toward unconscious patterns or deeper truths. Dreams and symbols, the language of the unconscious. Jung's exploration of dreams and symbols is one of his most enduring contributions to psychology. Jung believed that dreams were not just random neural activity, but were instead expressions of the unconscious mind, rich with symbolism and meaning. Through dreams, the unconscious communicates with the conscious mind, offering insights into unresolved conflicts, repressed desires, and hidden truths. Jung's approach to dream analysis was rooted in the idea that dreams should not be reduced to mere symbolic interpretations or fixed meanings. Instead, dreams are unique to each individual, and their symbols can have multiple layers of meaning. A symbol in a dream may represent something personal to the dreamer, or it may reflect deeper, universal archetypes from the collective unconscious. Symbols are the language through which the unconscious communicates with the conscious mind. For example, a snake in a dream may symbolize both danger and transformation, depending on the context of the dreamer's life. Similarly, the appearance of a wise old man in a dream may reflect the presence of the self or an aspect of the unconscious that is trying to guide the dreamer toward greater self-awareness. Jungian dream analysis encourages the individual to engage with their dreams actively, to reflect on their personal associations with the symbols, and to explore how these dreams can offer deeper insight into their psychological life. Jung's philosophical influences. Carl Jung was not only a pioneer in the field of psychology, but also a deeply philosophical thinker whose ideas were influenced by a wide range of intellectual traditions. His unique blend of ideas from Western philosophy, Eastern thought, religion, and his own personal experiences shaped the framework of his analytical psychology. In this section, we will explore some of the key philosophical influences on Jung's work and how these ideas shaped his understanding of the human psyche. Jung and Western philosophy. Jung was profoundly influenced by a variety of Western philosophical traditions, though his approach often diverged from the more rational, materialistic views that dominated his time. Some of his most important Western philosophical influences include Immanuel Kant. Jung was deeply influenced by Kant's idea that the human mind is not a passive recipient of external reality, but actively shapes our experience of the world. Kant's notion of the noumenon, the thing in itself, and the phenomenon, the way things appear to us, resonated with Jung's ideas of the unconscious and the conscious mind. Jung viewed the unconscious as something that could not be directly perceived or understood through ordinary consciousness. Yet it significantly shaped our experiences and perceptions. Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche's philosophy had a profound impact on Jung, particularly his ideas of the Übermensch, Overman or Superman, and the will to power. Jung saw in Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch a call for individuals to transcend conventional societal constraints and achieve their highest potential. Nietzsche's notion of embracing life's inherent chaos, contradictions, and suffering deeply influenced Jung's ideas about individuation and the integration of opposites. Nietzsche's proclamation, "God is dead," also resonated with Jung's reflections on the loss of traditional religious frameworks in the modern world. And he explored how individuals could find meaning without relying on external religious systems. Martin Heidegger. Jung's thinking was also influenced by Heidegger's existentialist philosophy, particularly his ideas about being and authentic existence. Heidegger emphasized the importance of confronting one's mortality and embracing the full experience of being alive, which aligned with Jung's emphasis on self-awareness and individuation. Heidegger's ideas about being toward death resonated with Jung's exploration of the shadow and the unconscious, where confronting life's limitations and uncertainties is essential for achieving psychological wholeness. Søren Kierkegaard. Kierkegaard's focus on existential anxiety and the individual's relationship with God also informed Jung's philosophical outlook. Kierkegaard's exploration of the leap of faith and the tension between the finite and the infinite mirrored Jung's own understanding of the process of individuation and the need to embrace both the finite, the ego, and the infinite, the self. Both philosophers emphasize the importance of self-knowledge and personal transformation. While these Western thinkers influenced Jung's ideas, it is important to note that his approach was distinctive and, at times, in contrast to traditional Western philosophy. Jung was not content to view the human experience as strictly rational or materialistic. Instead, he sought to reconcile the rational with the irrational, the conscious with the unconscious, in order to understand the full scope of human experience. Jung and Eastern thought. Jung's relationship with Eastern philosophy was equally influential, especially as he began to explore and integrate ideas from Taoism, Buddhism, and Hinduism into his psychological system. His encounters with Eastern thought provided him with new ways of understanding the integration of opposites, the nature of the self, and the potential for transcendence. Taoism. Jung was fascinated by the Taoist concept of the Tao, or the Way, which he saw as an embodiment of the natural flow of life and the balance of opposites. The Taoist idea that opposites, such as light and dark, masculine and feminine, are interdependent and complementary, deeply resonated with Jung's own understanding of the integration of opposites within the psyche. The concept of Wu Wei, non-action or effortless action, in Taoism also influenced Jung's thinking on the importance of allowing the unconscious to guide the individual, rather than relying solely on rational control. Buddhism. Jung was also drawn to the teachings of Buddhism, particularly its focus on the impermanence of life and the nature of suffering. He saw in Buddhism a profound understanding of the human condition and the need for self-awareness in the face of existential challenges. Buddhism's emphasis on mindfulness and the cultivation of inner peace aligns with Jung's views on the importance of self-reflection, meditation, and the integration of the unconscious. The Buddhist concept of the ego as an illusion and the transcendence of the self echoed Jung's ideas about the need to move beyond the ego and toward the realization of the self through individuation. Hinduism. Hindu philosophy also influenced Jung, particularly the idea of Atman, the true self, and Brahman, the ultimate reality. Jung saw parallels between the Hindu concept of the divine self and his own understanding of the self in analytical psychology. The Hindu notion of reincarnation and the cyclical nature of existence resonated with Jung's belief in the eternal process of individuation and transformation. Additionally, the concept of yoga, or the union of body, mind, and spirit, found its way into Jung's understanding of psychological integration. Jung viewed Eastern philosophy as a valuable source of wisdom that complemented his psychological work. In particular, he admired the Eastern emphasis on the interconnectedness of all things, the idea of transcending the individual ego, and the cultivation of inner peace through self-realization. Jung and religion. Jung's relationship with religion was complex and multifaceted. While he was critical of traditional religious institutions, he saw religion as a vital part of the human experience, particularly in its symbolic and psychological dimensions. Jung was deeply interested in the religious dimension of the psyche and how religious symbols and myths serve as vehicles for psychological transformation. Christianity. Jung's relationship with Christianity was ambivalent. While he was critical of institutionalized religion, he recognized the psychological value of Christian symbols and rituals. Jung believed that Christianity, especially in its mystical and symbolic forms, offered valuable insights into the nature of the unconscious. He was particularly drawn to the figure of Christ as a symbol of the self, representing both the divine and the human aspects of the psyche. However, he also believed that modern Christianity had become disconnected from its deeper psychological and spiritual roots. The God image. Jung argued that each individual has a personal relationship with the concept of the divine, which he referred to as the God image. This image is not a fixed religious belief, but a dynamic and evolving symbol that reflects the individual's inner spiritual life. Jung believed that the God image could take many forms, ranging from traditional religious figures to more abstract representations of the divine, such as nature, the universe, or the inner self. Religious mythology. Jung saw religious myths as powerful representations of universal psychological processes. He believed that myths served as metaphors for the journey of individuation and the integration of the unconscious. The stories of gods, heroes, and spiritual transformation were seen as reflections of the inner process of self-realization. For Jung, the study of religious mythology was a way to understand the deep psychological patterns that govern human behavior. Jung's exploration of religion was not just about theology, it was about understanding the role of religious symbols and experiences in the psyche. He believed that religion, in its deepest sense, is a psychological phenomenon that serves to mediate the relationship between the conscious mind and the unconscious, providing meaning and guidance in the journey towards self-realization. Jung's legacy in modern thought. Jung's ideas have had a profound and lasting impact on modern psychology, philosophy, and culture. His influence extends beyond the realm of academia, shaping everything from art and literature to popular culture and psychotherapy. In this section, we explore how Jung's work continues to resonate today. Jung and modern psychology. Jung's ideas are foundational to several schools of psychological thought, particularly in the fields of depth psychology and humanistic psychology. His emphasis on the unconscious, archetypes, and the process of individuation paved the way for more holistic approaches to understanding the human psyche. Jungian psychotherapy. Jung's therapeutic approach focuses on helping individuals become more conscious of their unconscious patterns and integrating those patterns into their conscious awareness. Jungian analysis involves working with dreams, symbols, and active imagination to uncover the deeper layers of the psyche. This approach is still practiced by therapists around the world today, often in combination with other therapeutic techniques. Personality psychology. Jung's theory of personality types, including his work on the introversion-extroversion spectrum, has had a lasting influence on modern personality psychology. His insights into the psychological functions, thinking, feeling, sensation, and intuition, have shaped the way we understand human behavior and individual differences. The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, is a widely used personality assessment tool that was inspired by Jung's theories. Jung and popular culture. Jung's concepts have also found a place in popular culture, influencing storytelling, film, literature, and art. Archetypes such as the hero, the mentor, and the shadow are staples of mythic storytelling, and they appear in everything from Hollywood blockbusters to everyday narratives. Films and literature. Movies such as Star Wars, The Matrix, and Harry Potter are steeped in Jungian archetypes and themes. For example, Luke Skywalker's journey in Star Wars mirrors the archetypal hero's journey, while the shadow is embodied by Darth Vader. Similarly, characters in The Matrix and Harry Potter experience their own individuation processes, encountering their shadow, Anima, and Animus along the way. Art and creativity. Jung's ideas about the unconscious and creativity have been influential in the realm of art. Artists and writers have used Jungian concepts to explore the deeper layers of the human experience, drawing from symbols, dreams, and mythology to create works that resonate on a psychological level. Practical applications of Jung's philosophy. Carl Jung's ideas were not just theoretical, they have profound implications for personal growth, therapeutic practices, and how we navigate our relationships with others. Jung believed that understanding and integrating the unconscious was key to achieving psychological wholeness. And in this section, we'll explore how his philosophy can be used practically to foster self-awareness, balance, and transformation. Therapeutic practices, Jungian analysis, and depth psychology. Jung's ideas form the backbone of Jungian psychotherapy, also known as analytical psychology. This therapeutic approach emphasizes the importance of exploring the unconscious mind and integrating its contents into conscious awareness. By doing so, individuals can become more attuned to their inner world, embrace their complexities, and heal psychological wounds. Dream analysis. One of the most powerful tools in Jungian therapy is dream analysis. Jung believed that dreams were direct expressions of the unconscious mind, offering valuable insight into unresolved conflicts, repressed emotions, and unconscious desires. By exploring the symbols, themes, and characters in dreams, therapists can help clients uncover hidden aspects of their personality and integrate them into their waking life. Jungian dream interpretation is a process that goes beyond simple symbolic meanings. It encourages the individual to engage with the dream's emotional content and personal significance. Active imagination. Active imagination is a technique developed by Jung to bridge the gap between the conscious and unconscious minds. It involves consciously engaging with the images, symbols, and figures that arise from the unconscious, often through methods like journaling, art, or guided visualization. Active imagination allows individuals to interact with their inner world and explore unconscious material in a safe and controlled manner. This process can lead to profound self-discovery, healing, and transformation. Transference and countertransference. In Jungian therapy, the therapist-client relationship plays a crucial role. Transference refers to the projection of unconscious feelings, beliefs, and expectations onto the therapist, often based on past relationships. By exploring these projections, the therapist and client can gain insight into the client's internal conflicts and unresolved issues. Similarly, countertransference refers to the therapist's emotional reactions to the client, which can also reveal important unconscious dynamics that need to be addressed. Integration of the shadow. The integration of the shadow is one of the central goals of Jungian therapy. Jung believed that individuals could only achieve true psychological wholeness by confronting and embracing the parts of themselves that they typically repress or deny. Shadow work involves acknowledging and accepting these darker aspects of the self, allowing them to be integrated into the individual's conscious identity. This process helps reduce inner conflict and fosters greater self-acceptance. Jungian analysis is a deeply introspective and transformative process. It encourages individuals to embark on a journey of self-discovery, face their inner contradictions, and heal emotional wounds. For those who engage in it, it offers the possibility of a richer, more authentic life. Self-exploration and growth. Tools for Jungian self-discovery. Jung's philosophy offers several tools for individuals who wish to embark on their own journey of self-exploration and growth. These practices are designed to help individuals connect with their unconscious mind, recognize their inner patterns, and foster personal transformation. Dream journaling. Keeping a dream journal is a simple yet powerful practice for anyone interested in exploring their unconscious. By recording dreams as soon as they wake up, individuals can begin to identify recurring themes, symbols, and emotions that offer insight into their psychological life. Writing about dreams can also provide a means for reflection and interpretation, helping the dreamer decode the messages from their unconscious mind. Active imagination and art. Engaging in active imagination through creative expression is another powerful tool for self-exploration. Jung himself was an avid painter, and he encouraged others to use art as a means of connecting with the unconscious. By creating art, whether through drawing, painting, sculpture, or writing, individuals can tap into their inner world and bring unconscious material to the surface. Artistic expression allows for the integration of emotions, images, and symbols that might otherwise remain hidden. Journaling and reflective writing. Keeping a regular journal can help individuals reflect on their inner experiences and emotions. Writing about daily thoughts, dreams, and emotions can provide clarity about unconscious patterns and tendencies. Reflective writing in particular can help individuals explore their shadow, their relationship with their Anima and Animus, and any aspects of themselves that need integration. Over time, journaling can lead to greater self-awareness and personal growth. Exploring archetypes. By studying and reflecting on Jungian archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, the anima, animus, and the self, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of the psychological patterns at play in their lives. For example, recognizing how the hero archetype plays out in your own personal journey can help you understand the struggles and challenges you face in your pursuit of meaning. Similarly, becoming aware of the persona can help you recognize when you are hiding behind masks or social roles and encourage you to embrace a more authentic self. Meditation and mindfulness. Jung believed that engaging in meditative and mindful practices could help individuals become more attuned to their unconscious mind and the deeper aspects of their psyche. Meditation and mindfulness practices help quiet the ego and make space for unconscious material to arise. By observing thoughts and emotions without judgment, individuals can gain insight into their psychological patterns and foster a greater sense of peace and wholeness. Understanding relationships, Jungian insights into love, intimacy, and connection. Jung's philosophy also offers valuable insights into understanding and improving interpersonal relationships. By applying Jungian concepts to relationships, individuals can foster greater intimacy, understanding, and growth. The shadow in relationships. Our shadow often manifests in relationships, particularly in the form of projections. We may project our own repressed traits or unacknowledged feelings onto others, which can lead to misunderstandings and conflict. Recognizing these projections and working to integrate the shadow can help individuals navigate relationships with more awareness and authenticity. For example, if you feel anger toward a partner, it may be helpful to ask yourself, what aspect of myself is being triggered by this anger? What part of myself do I need to embrace or integrate? The Anima, Animus, and gender dynamics. The Anima Animus plays a crucial role in relationships as it represents the opposite gender aspects within each individual. For men, integrating the anima allows for deeper emotional connection and empathy with women, while for women, integrating the animus helps develop inner strength and assertiveness. By recognizing and working with these archetypes, individuals can achieve more balanced and harmonious relationships. Individuation and relationship growth. Jung believed that the process of individuation, the journey towards self-realization, was essential not only for personal growth, but also for relationship growth. In relationships, both partners must embark on their own individuation processes, becoming more authentic and self-aware. When both individuals are in touch with their true selves, the relationship can deepen and evolve into something more meaningful and transformative. This is not to say that relationships are without conflict, but Jung believed that the challenges that arise in relationships are opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Authenticity and vulnerability. Jung emphasized the importance of embracing authenticity in relationships. This involves being vulnerable, open, and true to oneself, rather than hiding behind social masks or idealized versions of who we think we should be. Authenticity allows for deeper emotional connections and fosters trust between partners. It is through vulnerability and openness that true intimacy can flourish. Embracing the spiritual dimension. Jung's view on spirituality. Jung's philosophy also has profound implications for those seeking spiritual growth. Jung did not view spirituality in the traditional religious sense, but he recognized the importance of the spiritual dimension of the psyche. He believed that every individual has an inherent drive toward wholeness and transcendence, which often manifests in spiritual pursuits. The search for meaning. Jung argued that the quest for meaning is central to the human experience. He believed that individuals must seek their own meaning in life, whether through religion, creativity, or personal growth. By understanding the deeper layers of the psyche, individuals can tap into a greater sense of purpose and direction. The transcendent function. Jung's concept of the transcendent function refers to the process by which opposing elements within the psyche, such as conscious and unconscious, or ego and self, are reconciled. This process leads to a deeper sense of spiritual wholeness, as individuals learn to transcend dualities and embrace unity. For Jung, spirituality was not about religious dogma, but about embracing the process of integration and transformation. The role of symbols in spirituality. Jung believed that spiritual symbols like religious icons, rituals, and archetypal figures serve as bridges between the conscious and unconscious minds. These symbols reflect the inner spiritual journey of the individual, helping to guide them toward greater self-awareness and connection with the transcendent. Conclusion. Carl Jung's philosophy offers a profound and transformative framework for understanding the human psyche, personal growth, and the pursuit of meaning. His ideas on the unconscious, archetypes, and individuation provide powerful tools for navigating the complexities of the self and the world around us. By integrating Jung's insights into our own lives, through therapy, self-reflection, relationships, and spiritual practices, we can embark on a journey toward greater wholeness and self-awareness. Jung's ideas continue to resonate today because they speak to the timeless human need for understanding, balance, and personal transformation. As we explore the depths of the unconscious and the mysteries of the psyche, we come closer to embracing our true selves and finding meaning in the complexity of life. Conclusion: embrace the journey of self-discovery with Carl Jung. Carl Jung's profound exploration of the unconscious, the self, and the human experience offers us a roadmap for transformation. His work emphasizes that the path to psychological wholeness is not about achieving perfection or escaping life's contradictions, but about embracing our full selves, both light and shadow. Whether through the integration of our unconscious material, understanding archetypes, or embarking on the journey of individuation, Jung's philosophy guides us toward greater self-awareness, inner peace, and connection with the world around us. But the journey does not end here. Now that you have been introduced to these concepts, the next step is to engage with them actively in your own life. The unconscious is not something to fear, but rather an incredible source of wisdom and growth. You can begin your journey of self-discovery today, whether it's through reflecting on your dreams and uncovering the symbols that speak to your inner life, engaging in active imagination and expressing yourself through art, or writing to connect with the deeper layers of your psyche, confronting your shadow and embracing the parts of yourself that you've hidden away, allowing them to guide you toward personal growth, exploring your archetypes to better understand your role in the world and how to integrate different aspects of yourself. Embrace the process of individuation and explore the depths of your unconscious mind. Use Jung's philosophy as a tool for personal growth, and don't shy away from the challenges that come with self-awareness. The more we understand ourselves, the more we can contribute meaningfully to the world around us. If you're ready to integrate Jung's philosophy into your life, comment the word, "I am ready to take control of my life." Join our community, and here are like-minded individuals who are also exploring Jung's ideas. Whether through online forums, study groups, or professional therapy, sharing your journey can provide support and inspiration. We are here to support you all the way on your journey. As you continue on your path of self-discovery, remember, the work of Carl Jung is not just for psychologists or academics. It's for everyone. Every person can benefit from the insights he provided. Whether you are seeking a deeper understanding of your own psyche or exploring the profound connections between psychology, spirituality, and culture. Thank you for taking the time to explore the depths of Carl Jung's philosophy with us into the world of your unconscious mind and toward the realization of your most authentic self. Start your journey today. Embrace the challenge, confront the shadow, and step into the light of your true self. Subscribe and share this video to those on the path to self-discovery. Thank you.